Okay. Hi, Bala. Hi.
Hi Raj, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So, what is the reason we are doing this show? We thought we'll take a look at each of the teams that played out this IPL. Obviously, since there are four teams which are in the playoffs, we'll leave them aside for now. Two of them are playing today, but then both of them will be playing
We'll talk
again.
of four teams. We'll talk of the four teams that didn't make the cut.
Yes. So we'll take one team at a time and talk because we thought that
Exactly.
And since we have both of us have talked about CSK a lot, we thought we'll stick with that first.
You also know, I mean, you're a card-carrying Tamilian. I'm a Tamilian by birth. So we'll discuss CSK.
We'll discuss. So I think CSK, to my mind, I'll start and then I'll throw the ball to you. For me, I think the CSK's journey this IPL started on the wrong note. If you know what I mean. I mean, first of all, several members of that squad had not played, especially the ones who had retired. Quite a few were there. I mean, the retired guys were not played. Right, that was one. So I just jotted down some point, and then they did have a camp in Chennai. They arranged everything, but the fact is that they had COVID-19 infections. Then they had Suresh Raina and Harbhajan Singh sort of opting out. Suresh Raina was obviously a big disappointment. A lack of Harbhajan meant there was nobody to bowl to left-handers, if you think about it. Right, that was the other one. It came to my mind, and the lack of practice was quite evident. I mean, I think even in fact I remember somewhere, I think a couple of batsmen or players did mention it during their post-match comments and all. Like, look, we are rusty. The word rusty came up quite a few times. So, and we are not even mentioning the senior citizen status here. So that's what I think. Right before starting,
because you have covered almost everything. So we'll end right here.
So I said before starting, this they stood. I mean, before you think about it, when I'm starting a tournament, I mean, I have this 1, 2, 3, 4. I say, oh, what, man? Somebody up there doesn't want me to win. Like, what is happening? So that is the way you think, right? So
I mean, I'm a believer, but I wouldn't blame the person above.
Okay.
Very self-inflicted.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if I want to be slightly charitable to CSK, this team was chosen at the auction table, keeping in mind the Indian conditions. That unfortunately didn't happen.
Yes.
So that was one problem that was not in their hands. But when other teams are coping up, you can't have trot out the same excuse. Because other teams have, the conditions are similar to everybody. Everybody had picked the team for Indian conditions for forward. So this is true to a certain level. Beyond that, you have to turn up and deliver. That's what you expect your players to.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, CSK players didn't turn up in a metaphorical sense.
Yes.
They didn't.
Yeah.
And they compounded it by some strange selection, by some strange selections. Because they were right to drop Murali Vijay after 2 tries, which is fine because he didn't perform well and he looked rusty, so he got dropped. But the Kedar Jadhav didn't even look rusty because he was so bad that he didn't even look rusty.
Yeah.
But they kind of persisted with him. I mean, I have to say this. That looks very strange to me. Why was he persisted beyond his reasonable time limit?
Yeah.
And that kind of it not only demotivated the fans, it was kind of disparaging to the rest of the team members. That I think because Dhoni was being adamantine in that particular. I mean, he sometimes can be like that because over a period of time, not just in CSK, even with the Indian cricket team, we have seen Dhoni persisting with certain players beyond their time limit.
Yeah, and then doing that eventually.
Beyond their by date.
Yeah, and then he persists with them, gives them more chances, and eventually drops them because he seems to see things, or he seems to have more patience with some of his players than I think as fans we have. I'll put it that way. And although he eventually does what we are asking him to do, or rather what.
See, I can understand there is a there is certain merit in persisting with players. I'm not saying you should chop and change regularly, but this was going beyond the reasonable limit. That was
Correct.
one problem for me.
Yeah.
See, another problem
Hmm.
is you talked of spinners. Spinners have won matches for CSK. Unfortunately, in the conditions obtaining in UAE, they weren't able to. I mean, it is not as if they were bad bowlers. Karan Sharma, I thought, though his numbers were not impressive, he bowled with a large heart. Karan Sharma, more than Piyush Chawla.
Hmm.
He showed a lot of heart and courage. There was certain amount of enthusiasm in him. So and Jadeja, unfortunately, his bowling, I mean, as much as his batting was so impressive, his bowling was at the other end of the spectrum. That was a bit of a problem because
See,
Jadeja was one player whom CSK was hugely dependent on.
yeah, yeah, I agree. See, I mean, which basically, see, what you're bringing, what you sort of said also brings to mind that earlier point that you mentioned, that they had chosen a team for uh, playing in
Indian
on the
conditions.
Chepauk. Now, who were the players they chose? I think if I remember right, Sam Curran, Piyush Chawla, Josh Hasselwood, and Sai Kishore. Sai Kishore didn't even get a look in. I mean,
That was what I mean.
yeah.
That,
So I will we'll
exactly.
get to that. We'll get to that. So of the picks, Josh Hasselwood didn't play all the matches for some reason because you had a.
He played two matches.
So you had Shane Watson played all the matches, barring maybe one match where he really performed well, and one match where he started well. I mean, there was nothing much for him to show, and he is retired now. You know that.
Watson was dropped for one match.
Yeah.
Watson was dropped for.
I think he was ill that day. Otherwise, he would have probably played that also.
Yeah.
So and then he eventually
he was not dropped in that sense.
That's he retired. Now he is no more part of IPL, right? So I mean, so this is the point. I mean, so this is where Dhoni.
He was retired all through the tournament.
Yeah,
Watson was.
He should have.
All through the
Correct. He was retired on the first part itself. I mean, he just officially announced it now. I think he had already retired. So yeah. So that is the point. So these four guys who come in, how do you use them? So we have mentioned. I think in our shows we have mentioned. Jagadisan, we have mentioned Sai Kishore, we have Monu Kumar played one game, and then the worst of the decisions were
after waiting for 3 years, man.
3 years, yeah, 3 years. After the worst of the decisions was Ruturaj Gaikwad, whom you brought last time. You didn't do anything with him, right? He was just cooling his heels, and then when he played, he actually, I mean, pardon me for saying this, but I think it was a slap on the team management's face. Boss,
he clearly exposed their thinking, because that was kind of a stick in the mud attitude when it came to selectoral ideas.
Yeah.
So that his batting success exposed Dhoni. And Dhoni, I was slightly surprised the way he talked in one of those post matches where he said it was very difficult for him to gauge what the player was. See, you can't say that. You have enough info. You have a huge think tank which supplies you with a lot of information, and you can't come around and say it is very difficult to gauge a batsman whether he was doing it was one-off or that is his natural nature. That was a bit bizarre.
Yeah, so in which case, right? In which case you need to get rid of that team if you want better,
or the captain.
So one of these.
Yeah.
So or you tell Dhoni, boss, I mean, now we will run the team. You just do what we are asking you to do, like other teams are doing. So Dhoni was an exception, right, to that. I mean, Dhoni has always been an exception. He runs the team that he is captain of. Analysis are there, but then analysis don't drive Dhoni's decision making. We have never seen him do that. Instinct is what has always driven.
I'm happy for that part.
Yeah.
I'm happy for that part.
Mm-hmm. And my point is that maybe the instincts are not what they used to be. It happens to all of us, right?
Age blunts that.
So see, I mean, it's like, yesterday I was driving. I was in Chennai and I drove back to Bangalore. The way I was driving was different from the way I was driving 10 years back, when my instincts would be far sharper and far.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, I need to adjust to that. It's fine.
It takes a toll. Yeah, exactly.
So being stubborn, I think that there also it matters. Being stubborn is when you are aware of your own limitations as you grow into the role and beyond the role.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Being steadfast is different from being stubborn.
Stubborn, yeah. So I mean, to me, see, another thing I found was that, last time, again, one interesting thing was Deepak Chahar was actually a good bowler last time. I mean, I don't know how many wickets. I don't have data on me, but then I think
he was good in patches in this tournament. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say he was an absolute failure.
See, last time he took 15 wickets. I'm just looking at the
Yes.
data, 15 wickets. This time he has taken half of that number, right? And the previous year he took 18 wickets. The year, 10 wickets the year CSK won. Last year almost they won, right? I mean they got to the finals.
Yeah, fair enough.
So 25 wickets is what he got in 2 IPLs. This time he got just 7. So that firepower that you needed initially was somehow not there, right? I mean,
Yeah,
if you go
exactly.
to
But I
specifics.
wouldn't say he was as bad as, I mean, Shardul Thakur looked tepid. So
Yeah.
certainly looked, he was undercooked. Deepak Chahara had his moments. I mean, to be fair to him, he was one of the persons who was afflicted by COVID-19.
Yeah.
So he was coming out, he was slightly, in terms of physical conditions, physical ability, he would have been slightly below par, which is understandable. But you are right about him not being fully performing to his potential, which is understandable. But he is one, I mean, if he had performed slightly better, CSK would have obviously done well right at the start. Because most of the teams got off to a very good start against CSK. They put up better scores on the scoreboard.
Yeah, that was the thing.
And the real problem was with the spinners more than the thing.
Yeah.
Lungi Engedi, the first 2 matches he didn't look the part that you expect him to be. Towards the end, he was included. He was quite impressive. But Lungi Engedi would have made a difference in the long run. Unfortunately, Bravo also was injured. So the balance was slightly lost because he's a who can
again they didn't
overs towards
again if you look at it, they didn't seem to have a very settled idea of what they wanted to do. Because see, if you were thinking of Sam Curran as a future replacement of Dwayne Bravo, you need to play him like that, right? Sam Curran bowls as good, he bats even better. So if you think, see, somewhere I think there was, these guys were muddled up between using between loyalty and winning the tournament. I don't know, this is what comes to my mind. I mean, I need to be loyal to Shane Watson. I need to be, see, somebody like I think the only one who sort of repaid that loyalty to my mind was Faf du Plessis. Nobody else. Nobody else. The entire team, I mean, including Dhoni. Why others? Dhoni had a less than middling.
But before we talk about Dhoni's batting, one thing that worried me was when you talk of stubbornness, every team had some injury concerns. Every team went for a replacement. Look at CSK. They didn't opt for any replacement. When Raina went away, they didn't choose anybody else. So there was either they didn't want to find any or there wasn't any.
Yeah. Or I think all the money that they had in the cup, the bank was probably taken away already. There was nothing to spend. So getting somebody in was not possible. I don't know. It can be any reason. We really don't know. So I'm just sort of guessing here. Yeah, you're right, but that is the key point. Bravo.
So every team had somebody walking in. They at least announced replacement. Bravo was injured. This guy, Raina was injured. Nobody.
Raina went and Harbhajan went. Nobody. Harbhajan, Raina. See, to me, Harbhajan, although maybe he's definitely past his prime, he's beyond all of that. But then bowling 4 overs right up front would have been a different person. On any ground for Harbhajan. And we were talking.
You talk about Harbhajan, an off spinner being effective against left-handers. That would have been, certainly missed an offie there.
Yeah.
CSK certainly missed an offie. So, but
and then that also that also sort of came up when if you remember, when CSK Delhi Capitals Akshar Patel hit Jadeja for 3 sixes. So that was a key moment as far as I'm concerned, because you didn't have a bowling option. See, at that time, even a Suresh Raina bowling the last over would have made better sense than Jadeja bowling that last over, right? Because he takes the ball into the left-hander, and this guy was just standing there and swinging. 3 sixes, match over. To me, that was a telling commentary on what CSK was this year. Somewhere it stayed with me. I said, no, you know what, this became too easy.
See, somebody like Kedar Jadhav who has bowled in international matches, they didn't even prepare. See, you are in a situation and you are not picked on replacement for Harbhajan Singh. They should have tried Kedar Jadhav in the nets as a bowling option too. Why did they not try him at all?
Yeah. So many ifs and buts.
Since his batting is not coming, at least you try him as a bowler.
Yeah. And especially like I said, all through the tournament.
And we need to
Yeah, one final thing from my side was, one final thing was right through the tournament, I always kept batting for Jadeja at number 3, never happened. But then he proved a point to everybody, including, I think, Indian cricket. I'm hoping that Virat Kohli is watching and has watched the matches, and he can think of, although, see, if the moment you need somebody to sort of up the scoring rate, this guy seems to be in that zone now. I mean, you need to try that guy out. One success and you will see a different person there. So yeah, I think final comments from you on Dhoni, and then we will wind this up. Yeah.
Dhoni, because more than Dhoni, the captain, Dhoni, the batsman, was badly missed by CSK.
Yeah.
This has been his, in terms of runs, this was his lowest ever in the IPL history.
Yeah.
And him coming at pivotal number 4 position, 2 down, he has to score at the back end. His sixes never came off. This is the tournament where he has scored the least number of sixes. So when those sixes don't come off, when those big runs don't happen, you clearly have a huge problem on your hands. And though the spinners were not coming to the party, it is actually batsmen who win you the matches in T20 context.
Yeah.
And that was not even a single match where the CSK batting unit powered to its potential. They were stuttering around, stuttering, everything. Just one match against Kings 11 Punjab, where they had a 10-wicket victory, and even then it was not a great advertisement for big hitting T20 contest.
Yeah.
Just that they went about their business with professionalism. It was not the kind of hitting that you expect in a T20 contest.
And that also was won largely because of the first innings. You managed to sort of restrict the guys to a decent score. And I think it was the same with their first match of the IPL, first match of this IPL against Mumbai Indians. Where again they had a par score. I put it that way. Otherwise, there were no par scores coming.
Ambati Rayudu, who then again had a patchy IPL, who turned up in that match.
Yeah, Ambati Rayudu probably turned up in more matches than anybody else for that team. I mean, if you take Faf du Plessis out of the picture, I think. So from an Indian perspective, he was the only one who turned up somewhere till the last 3 matches where Ruturaj Gaikwad completely stole the show. I'll put it that way. We can put it that way.
Exactly. And but going forward, I think CSK has now that Dhoni is going to be available for the next edition, you have to look around people like Jagadish and Sai Kishore, Ruturaj Gaikwad, Faf du Plessis, Jadeja. You have a decent core, so you build a team around that for the next next edition, which we hope will happen sometime in April, May. After that, you have to go for a major overhaul for the major auction, which is bound to happen after the next edition.
Yeah.
So that is the best scenario for CSK, but they have a decent unit around this. But going to Piyush Chawla or Karan Sharma would be self-defeating, or Murali Vijay or Kedar Jadhav.
Yeah. It needs to be a completely. See, you can actually look at person to person and say who are the people we want to go after. Even if you get half of those, I think you are in.
Yeah.
Then you sort of. Then what you need to do is, whether Dhoni is captain or mentor, whatever it is, then you start from there and again build it up over the next 12 months, or no, over the next maybe 12 months after the auction, that is. So even if you miss out on 2022, but 2023 you will again be back. CSK will be back with that.
Now is the time to build a team for the future. I am not saying 2021 would be a better team, or the team would be better. That we'll have better results, or we'll make it to the finals or anything. That is too much to say. But I think your focus should be 2 or 3 years down the line. You build a team for the future, not for short-term goals. You've done that in the past. That's what Scott Stiley said, and we also discussed that.
Yeah.
So that is the better scenario for CSK.
Yeah, I think
that that kind of sums up, because we have not talked about stats, because that is for a particular reason. Because everybody else is talking about stats and other numbers. We thought we'll discuss on the broad contours of what the future of CSK lies, and where they heard and where it is headed towards. That is the whole idea of this.
So for me, the thing was, stats, like we have always discussed in the past, they tell you a story, but then it leaves a lot of it unsaid also. So I think
because most of them miss the context.
Yes. So I think that is where the thing is. So I think we'll leave with, I'll show you a picture. I think see, this was for me the picture of the tournament as far as Dhoni is concerned. I'm showing it to you. Take a look.
Okay, that's against Varun Chakravarti.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this was it. This was Dhoni for you this season. So
Exactly.
I think with that we'll wind up this. So we don't want Dhoni to be like this.
Ironically, that was from a Tamil Nadu bowler.
Yes. So, and which is the unfortunate part. We'll probably discuss that in some other episode. So
Another
wind up here.
Tamil Nadu bowler, K. Natarajan, also had him clean bowled.
Yes. So
that's the slap of face on the face of Dhoni's face from Tamil Nadu.
Yes. So that is Tamil Nadu telling CSK some very clear indicators. I think we'll stop there. So thanks a lot, and keep watching, keep liking, keep sharing, and see you soon.